Last week, upsets ruled the lanes. Steve Jarrett, Randy Weiss, and Dick Allen won the regions to advance in the Dick Weber PBA playoffs. Today, the final three regions hit the lanes. Can Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill use their youth to run through the bracket? Or will traditional powers like Chris Barnes and Wes Malott move on? 3 regional championships on the docket as the road to the Dick Weber PBA Playoff Championship continues. We welcome you to week 2 of the inaugural Lucas Oil Dick Weber PBA playoffs. Today from Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis, our final 3 regional champions will be crowned. Last Sunday, Steve Jarrett, a 1-pin victor to claim the East region. Randy Weiss also did it with a 1-pin cushion to win the South region. Dick Allen almost dropped a 300 game on us to claim the Central region. Today's broadcast begins in the Midwest. Jack Jurek, Bill O'Neill, Wes Malott. 2 more regions to follow, the Southwest and then the West, Northwest. Glad you're with us this Sunday. Rob Stone, PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson here with you. The men's NCAA tournament in the midst of their Final Four weekend in Houston. Here in Indianapolis, we're closing in on our final 6 of the season-ending Dick Weber PBA playoffs. Last week, the storyline, upsets. 2 number 1 seeds booted. This week, 3 more number 1 seeds on the telecast, including Player of the Year candidate Bill O'Neill.
And Bill O'Neill is really proving that he belongs out here. But it's been a great season, and when we asked him about his season, he was, yeah, absolutely, great season. And coming into this event, a lot of really good mojo for Bill O'Neill. He won the U.S. Open here last year. He won for the 3rd time earlier in the season at the Pepsi Viper Championship. He led the tour in points. He's proving he's one of the elite out here. But, Rob, like you said, he's trying to become the first number 1 seed to advance in this tournament.
And O'Neill telling us earlier, Randy, a big number is going to be needed today to move on. Time now for the introductions of your Midwest regional finalists.
A 6-time winner on the PBA Tour with 11 PBA regional wins, the big nasty Wes Malott. A 3-time PBA Tour champion and U.S. Open winner, the real deal, Bill O'Neill. He owns 2 career Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour titles and 12 PBA regional victories, the Ripper, Jack Jurek.
So there's your 3 Midwest finalists. Bill O'Neill, your number 1 seed in the Midwest, will start us off, and he'll do it on the left lane.
Last week we had big scores. Let's see how these 3 players broke down the oil pattern. Let's see whether or not it's conducive to high scores this week.
That's no way to start anything.
And there may have been our answer. Bill O'Neill, first shot out of the gate. Looks pretty good right before it gets in front of the head pin. Snaps real violently, leaving the 4-6-10.
Goes for count, attacks the 6-10, leaving the 4.
And again, just like last week, the low 2 scores are out. The high score of the 3 move on in this tournament.
Here's Jack Jurek. Messenger will not travel to take care of the 10. So Jurek will wait for his spare attempt, and the big nasty. 6'5", 250. Wes Malott from Pflugerville, Texas, just outside of Austin, steps up for his effort in the first. Didn't like it. And the oil pattern is winning here early. Open frame for O'Neill. Jurek after the 10 pin. Got it. reflect back on Wes's effort in the first.
Wes has been working really hard on his game and his direction of his arm swing. Been really struggling with timing for over a year. He said this week to you and I, Rob, he said he think he may have found something. Felt like he was walking a little bit too far away from his arm swing, which was creating a big loop in the downswing.
And been drifting away from his swing too much. Also been having some back issues. It's been plaguing him for years, flared up not too long ago. Here's O'Neal after that open frame in the first and right of target. That's one of those really looks.
We didn't see a shot like that all week, or excuse me, in the entire show last week. Not one washout.
Still without a strike.
But yet the only player to be able to hit the pocket for his first two shots, leaving 10 pins with both attempts.
Is Jack Jurek. Here's O'Neal in the second. Already one open frame. Make it two, and an ugly one to boot. He's at 15 through 2 frames. Rough. Jurek takes care of that one. And now Malat's first effort to close out the second frame. Everybody on board the strike train.
And Rob, talking with Wes and asking him about his game plan for today, he said it was just to perform well on TV again. It feels like he's had to take a step back to get back to where he used to be.
I needed to get that confidence back up on TV. As you see, O'Neal's arsenal has not worked well for him. That's his best shot of the day, leaving the 10.
I can't get that one.
Jurek, 9 spare, both times leaving the 10 pin. Here he is in the third.
Well, he finally gets the 10 to go down, but the encouraging sign is that all 3 balls have been in the pocket.
And O'Neal gets him up. Celebrates. There you go.
Gets a high five from Wes Malat.
I mean, that is one of the best bowlers on the planet, Bill O'Neal. And
without question.
That oil is just jumping on him early. Malat, 7 spare in the first, strike in the second. Here he is in the third.
Pay close attention to his balance after he lets go.
4-7.
A little high on that one, leaving the 4-7 in his third TV appearance of the season.
You can see both Jack and Wes Malat trying to go as straight as they can early on. Right now, Wes Malat trying to figure out that left lane. Jack Jurek has figured out both lanes.
O'Neal still without a strike.
Well, he's shaking his head because he went washout the last time on that lane. Throws a good shot there and goes 4-pin. And as a professional bowler, that'll drive you crazy.
Wes Malat, spare strike, spare. And he is on top by 1 over Jurek. O'Neal down a quick 26. Still trying to get himself a strike. First he needs to take care of this 10-pin. I tell you, just reading the body language of Bill O'Neal, it does not look good for him.
He's not real happy right now.
The arsenal for Jack Jurek this afternoon. Going with the Anarchy.
First double. You want to talk about a guy that's been flying under the radar and quietly bowling really well? That's Jack Jurek.
Second at the USBC Masters, 2 top 20s this season. And it happened in the last 3 tournaments of the season.
And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet right there.
Go back to the USBC Masters when he was the 1 seed. Malat, Messenger won't take care of the 10. Going back to the Jurek conversation. USBC Masters. He's your #1 seed, losing to Tom Hess. And Tom Hess going slightly out of his mind with excitement and emotion, and it was Jurek who corralled him back and saying, "You're not done yet. Finish strong here. Take that time." Classy guys. O'Neal books himself a ticket on the strike train. Finally. Third spare for Malott.
Now Jack Jurek working on a double can increase that lead and give himself a little bit of a cush here early on.
Last Sunday, we saw 2 #1 seeds go down. Bill O'Neal, a #1 seed in the Midwest, in trouble right now. Jurek in control in the 5th. 3 in a row.
At least on that lane.
Wes Malott, 1 spare in the 2nd, going with the Rising Star. Second strike of the match for the Big Nasty. Unable to pair them together, Jack Jurek has done that, and he has the lead. The conclusion of the Midwest region when we return. Will a #1 seed finally move on? Bill O'Neal's in an early hole to that man, Jack Jurek. The Lucas Oil Dick Weber PBA playoffs are brought to you by Lumber Liquidators. Go to lumberliquidators.com for a list of our new store openings. By Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By Lucas Oil, the world leader in high-performance lubricants and problem-solving additives. And by the makers of One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, welcome you back to Indianapolis, our continuing coverage of the Dick Weber PBA playoffs. Time now for this week's installment of the Lumber Liquidators Know the Wood.
The 39-foot Dick Weber oil pattern was designed to maximize creativity. This oil pattern also lends itself to multiple angles because there's a little more oil in the middle part of the lane, and it's a relatively short oil pattern. But most importantly, this pattern allows the bowlers to play to their strengths.
Back to action, Bill O'Neal, a #1 seed in big trouble. Down 45 to Jack Jurek. But the good news for the O'Neal camp, he is entering the 6th frame off of his first strike, trying to get himself a double and get back into this one. Back-to-back jacks for Bill O'Neal. Speaking of jacks, we talked to Jack Jurek now, and Jack, during warm-ups, you were saying your ball reaction could be a little bit better. How is it right now?
Well, now we've had a little time on the lanes. We've loosened up the fronts a little bit, so my ball's reading a little bit quicker than it was at the start of practice, so it's gotten a little better, fortunately.
Certainly has. Jurek with strikes. Randy in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, looking for a 4-bagger in the 6th. Say it with me, Randy.
4-bagger.
Hambone!
Well, Jack Jurek's making it look easy right now, and he's just making some stellar shots and putting all kinds of pressure on the other 2 players in Wes Malott and Bill O'Neal. Now, Wes Malott looking to double up for the first time in this game.
Well, let's let it go. We're up, Tony's.
Dallas trying to get that confidence back on TV, saying let it go.
Yeah, just a little grabby at the bottom, cause the ball to hook and go high.
Now O'Neal trying to claw his way back into this, looking for a triple in the 7th.
Come on. Get out of here.
Bill O'Neal's rev rate and Wes Malott's rev rate much higher than Jack Jurek's. Jack's bowling ball doesn't seem to read the front part of the lane as much, and therefore it's blended this oil pattern out beautifully for him. The other 2 players struggling just to hit the pocket.
Ooh! Great Great effort from O'Neal, but it'll be his third open frame. Wes with a miss.
You've got to be kidding me.
And an open frame. And Jack Jurek is sitting here saying, this one is being gift wrapped. Jack Jurek in firm control of the Midwest Regional Championship, trying to join Randy Weiss, Dick Allen, and Steve Jarris in the final 6.
All he has to do right now is avoid any open frames, and he will all but punch his ticket to the final 6 in these playoffs.
Strike number 3 for the Big Nasty. Jarris to close out, or rather Jurek to close out his 7th. Calm, control, never in danger. Bill O'Neal, a focus of this week's Lucas Oil High Performance Fast Fact. This is his 17th TV appearance in the last 3 seasons. That is a perturbed player right now.
Yep.
3 strikes in his last 4 frames for O'Neal, but he also has 3 open frames total.
Yeah, and if he doesn't double, he's going to shoot 160, and that would be the last score that you would think Bill O'Neal would shoot. You see the subtlety in the back-end reaction for Jack Jurek being a lower rev player? If that was Bill O'Neal or Wes Malott, that ball would have cut right through the nose and could have been a real ugly split. Instead, for Jack, it's just a simple 4-pin spare.
It's been a very simple game for Jurek thus far. Gets them all to drop. Now, what a run Wes Malott had a couple years ago en route to Player of the Year honors. As Jurek steps up, takes care of the 4-pin. O'Neal now down 59, beginning of the season. What a great start O'Neal had at the World Series of Bowling. He was your Player of the Year leader. But that honor ripped away from him by Mika Koivuniemi as of late, but still a wonderful campaign for O'Neal. I mean, he has to be in the top 3 finalists for Player of the Year.
Without question.
Probably put Chris Barnes in there as well, who'll be on our show a little bit later today. But it's Jurek, the player of this match. Didn't like that effort, but again.
The ball held pocket, and then it goes solid right 7.
O'Neal drops the 10. He's ready to get out of town here.
Watch this. He doesn't like it. It's left of target, but he finesses it enough at the bottom of the swing to make it hold line, only to leave a stone 7.
Fifth converted single pin spare.
Big shot coming up here for Wes Malott, Rob. If he strikes here, he will make Jack Jurek think about him. He'll be in his rearview mirror because Wes Malott can strike out for 227. Right now, Jack Jurek is going at a 226 pace.
3rd TV appearance of the season for Malott. 3 top 20 finishes on his resume for this season. And it won't fall.
They were so China when we started. Huh? They were? Wow.
Misery loves company as Malott and O'Neal converse.
That was really the only chance Wes Malott had of winning this match, was carrying that 4-pin.
Jurek in control here at the Midwest Region Championship, but in February, back in Reno at the USBC Masters, Jack not so fortunate. Struck 6 times in the first 7 frames, but then threw back-to-back splits for open frames in the 8th and the 9th, and lost the title match to a very anxious Tom Hess. Now, Jack ever the class act. Here he is helping Hess calm down so that Hess
could capture the first PBA title of his career.
Take a time, collect yourself real quick. Throw another shot.
Very much like that. One of the many reasons Jack Jurek is one of the most respected pros out here on the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour.
That's enough for Jack. He will advance.
And Jurek moves on. But we head from the Midwest to the Southwest next. The region's headliner, Australia's Jason Belmonte in action. He'll line it up with Brad Angelo and Dina Castillo when we return.